You decide for yourself what you're worth. Nobody decides that for you. You decide. You decide what you're worth. You decide what you tolerate. You decide what you're allowed to experience. You decide what you deserve. And I decided that I deserved a lot of bullshit until I decided that I didn't. Good morning. Hello, channel. Hi. Today's topic, self-respect. And as you can probably tell, because I think it's going to be the title of this video, you only experience what you tolerate. Now this is going to be more for people who can actually like put in the work to like change certain things about their lives. Like if you're tired of feeling disrespected, if you're tired of feeling unheard, if you're tired of feeling overlooked and ignored, I have a little thing to tell you to do about it. I was overextending my energy to help people that I don't even know if they would do the same for me. I was surrounded by a lot of energy vampires because I didn't know how to be alone. So I surrounded myself with people who would keep me busy, all right. And when it finally came time for me to move out of my apartment move out of my house into my first apartment, I realized how out of control I felt, how overwhelmed I felt. And it was just because I was tolerating a lot of bullshit. I was tolerating bullshit from my friends. I was tolerating bullshit from my partner. I was tolerating bullshit from my roommate. And it took me a lot of like mental breakdowns and like crashing out to finally get to a point where I realized that I'm only experiencing this because I'm allowing it to take place in my life. I'm only experiencing this because I'm tolerating it and making excuses for this behavior and then getting stuck in my own cycle. And that is one of the biggest examples of self-destruction in its finest. Like you can't allow yourself to be pretty much emotionally triggered every day and then just brush it off like it's fine. No, it's not fine. Your body, when you have stress, it reacts. You know, you get acne, you stop eating, so you're losing weight, you're really depressed, you're drinking a lot, you're in a cycle. And these are all things that happened to me because I was surrounded by the most emotionally exhausting people. And I allowed that because I made excuses for them, because I was like, okay, they're my friends. I had this sense of obligation to show up beyond my own personal measures and boundaries that I could like actually compromise. I overextended myself in a lot of situations, and I had to really learn how to have higher standards with the kind of people I surround myself with, have higher standards for myself. And in doing that, I realized like I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to be stuck living around this person that makes me want to drink alcohol every day. I don't have to be anxious in my own space. I don't have to be stressed every day. I don't have to be in a situation where I'm reaching for my bong first thing in the morning to disassociate. I don't have to. I really don't. And something that I want people to really realize is that as human beings, we have more power over our situations than we think. Now, when you're a kid, it's different. So I feel bad if you're like a teenager watching this. I don't know. But if you're one of those teenagers that was able to like get out early and you're living on your own and you're like making decisions for yourself, I need you to realize just how powerful of a being that you are. Like, I'm not necessarily talking about like law of attraction or manifestation. We can talk about that in another video. But right now, just as a simple human being, realizing the power you have just from like setting boundaries and knowing yourself and your worth and what you're not willing to tolerate really makes a huge difference. Like at the end of the day, you're experiencing these negative experiences and these negative feelings because something in you is attracting bullshit. Something in you is attracting bullshit. Some part of you and the way that you think about yourself and the things that you allow to take place in your life is attracting bullshit. That's why you're surrounded by a bunch of energy vampires. That's why you feel like you never have time for yourself. That's why you continue to put other people before you, because that's just the way you think right now. You just have low self-worth. And if you're anything like me, then you're trying to figure out how to get that self-worth because you want a better life. You want to be surrounded by better people, a better lover, a better partner. You just want to feel better about yourself and your surroundings. You have to believe that you can have better, that you can experience better. And in believing that you can have and experience better, you got to change your self-worth. Your internal self-image literally reflects into the outside world. The way you see yourself is reflected in the outside world and the people that you surround yourself with. Like, it's like a fact. So look at the people around you. Look at how they treat you. Look at the way they talk to you. Listen to the things that they're saying to you. Are these reflections of you? Is this how you think about yourself? Is this how you want to stop thinking about yourself? You gotta shut some of that shit out. 2 things. There's this book that I read called Set Boundaries, Find Peace. If anybody's interested, I will link that in the bio. It's a great book. It's like less than $30 on Amazon. I started reading that in the beginning of like my healing journey because in the relationship I was in at the time, there was a lot of things going unsaid, a lot of lack of communication, and there was this part of me that literally felt like she was withering away and dying the more I ignored it. It would be sending me signals to every part of my body to say something, to defend yourself, to speak up for yourself, and just say how you actually feel in the moment. And I would silence it over and over and over again every time because I was afraid of how it would affect or change my relationship with my partner. And you can't be afraid of that. I'm sorry, you can't. You gotta love yourself enough to be like, listen, I'm sorry if this offends you, but I need to set this boundary so I can continue to feel comfortable with us interacting. Because without this boundary, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I'm just like, you can't heal in the place that hurt you. You can't start to love yourself if you're still surrounded by people who make you hate yourself. If you can get out of a toxic situation, I would highly recommend it because a lot of people feel like they can't. Like when I was at my apartment with my roommate and my ex-boyfriend, I felt very much like indebted to both of them. I felt like I couldn't leave. To my ex-boyfriend, I felt obligated to try hard to be a better girlfriend. And to my roommate, I just felt obligated to babysit her. And I was taking on all this responsibility that was so unnecessary. For no reason. And I wasn't gaining anything from it at all, except, oh, I'm not a mean person. At least I can say I'm not mean, or I'm not like an asshole. But it's like I was being an asshole to myself. I was neglecting myself by putting energy that I should have been putting into myself into them. And I just started clearing out a lot of negative as anytime that I felt strong enough that I could. And I had to really build my trust and my strength. I had to learn how to trust myself to be like, okay, I can make the right decision. No one else is going to save me. No one else is going to make the right decision for me. Nobody else is going to take care of me and save me from the situation. I need to trust myself to make the right decision. And taking the time to learn how to trust yourself is an everyday practice. And if you don't know where to start, you can just, start by making like little goals. Like I trust myself to brush my teeth in the daytime and at night. I trust myself to have like one healthy meal a day. I trust myself to speak up when I feel some kind of way. I trust myself to defend myself when no one else is going to defend me. I trust myself to show up for myself. And it takes a while to build that relationship with oneself. But it's worth the effort. You have to believe that you're worth it, because I didn't trust myself for a long time. I was surrounded by horrible people and I made horrible decisions because I didn't trust myself to make the right one. But you have to realize that it's a choice. Like back to the beginning of the video, we all have a choice, okay? We all have a choice in what we tolerate. We have a choice to trust ourselves or not to trust ourselves. And the only thing we can really control is how we react to situations. Like, fuck focusing on what you can't control. You can't change your dad. You can't change your mom. You can't change your boyfriend. You can't change your roommate. You cannot change them. You cannot help them. You cannot save them. You can see their problems. You can try to address with them, but you cannot help them. You cannot save them. The only person that you can save 1000% guaranteed every time is yourself. But you have to start by building that trust with yourself, by no longer tolerating bullshit, by seeing and experiencing something that makes you feel some kind of way and then doing something about it. I left my ex-boyfriend. It was hard for me to move out of my roommates, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about it for a while. I wanted to leave so bad, but I kept making these excuses like, oh, where's she gonna go? Is she gonna be able to take care of herself? Who's gonna deal with the rent? Who's gonna cover this? Who's gonna cover that? Where am I gonna go? But like, I was more worried about her than me, honestly, because I could have figured that shit out just fine. And guess what? Oh my God, I did. I took the fucking leap of faith and I did. I felt like I didn't have any options, but I did. I was just making a choice to not see it as an option. Like, I knew I had a choice. I just kept choosing to stay for whatever fucking reason. It wasn't until I got really fed up that I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck where I go. I just need to get away from this, from you, from this energy. I just need to get the fuck away. And luckily, I was already with my new boyfriend at the time, and he helped me move. I went back to my mom's for a little bit, and now I live with my boyfriend's. And I took that leap of faith. I took that jump of uncertainty, like, okay, I don't really know where I'm gonna go, but I just know that I literally need to leave in order to grow and progress as a human being. I cannot stay here stuck in this stagnant energy. Something has to change, and it was that atmosphere. So I left, and now I'm staying at my boyfriend's, and you know, it's better. I don't hang out with the emotional vampires. I'm not just friends with people because they give me free drugs. Like, I'm actually being very mindful and intentional with how I spend my energy. Being intentional with how you spend your energy is so important. Like, we mindlessly choose to put our energy into social media, into doing this and our little hobbies, or just wasting time and watching TV or whatever. We are making a bunch of 100 million little decisions every day. And once you take awareness of that, then you can change that. Then it's like, okay, instead of making the decision that I usually make, I'm going to force myself to do something different, to do something better, so I can have a different outcome. So yeah, stop tolerating bullshit, because you don't have to. You don't have to deal with your mom's attitude. You don't have to deal with your boyfriend gaslighting you. You don't have to deal with your shitty landlord. You just have to believe in yourself. It's so fucking cheesy, but I don't give a fuck. It's true. You just have to believe that you are capable of saving yourself. You have to build that trust with yourself and make decisions where it's like, you know what, I'm proud I made that decision. I'm glad I made that decision because it actually led to a different positive outcome. And it's gonna be hard. It's not fucking easy. It took me months of being sober and a lot of journaling and messing up and crying and being upset at myself and learning to forgive myself to get to where I am now. And I'm not fucking perfect. I'm not fully healed, but I am better than I was a year ago. And that's a fact. I'm better than I was 2 fucking years ago, and that's a fact. I'm better than I was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, because I decided to be intentional with myself, with my life, with my day-to-day actions. I decided to have a purpose because I needed it. The only thing I cared about was the next time I was gonna get dick and the next time I was gonna get high or drunk. And that's a fact. That is the only thing I cared about. I just cared about partying, getting fucked up, and getting fucked. And that was from like, honestly, from like 16 to 20. Yeah, and I'm 22 now. So from 16 to 20, the only thing I cared about was having fun, being surrounded by people who could allow me to have fun, getting fucked up and free drugs and free liquor, and having sex. And that kind of lifestyle led me into a really dark space. I call it the dark room. I don't want to talk too much about it on this channel, but we'll revisit it because it's because of the dark room that I get to share these lessons that I've learned. So yeah, I found myself in the dark room. And I didn't realize how dark it was until I realized that I was craving light. When I found myself in the dark room and I finally took a second to look at myself and the kind of person I was being and the kind of people I was surrounded by, when I actually opened my fucking eyes and looked around and saw just how much my self-destructive behavior was affecting me and the people that I cared about, I was like, fuck no. I can see the kind of future that is in store for me if I continue down this path, and it is dark and ugly and horrible, and I don't want that. Excuse me. Like, I knew that I wanted better for myself. Like, I'm an artist, I'm a little singer, I'm an actor or whatever. I like being creative. I deserve to have more to life than like drugs and sex. And it took me a while to like realize that that was something that I genuinely wanted, because I didn't know myself. I was always trying to be a reflection of everything else around me, a reflection of the media, a reflection of people who I was wanting to be like, but I didn't know who the fuck I was. So easy for other people to just coerce me, or for me to allow myself to be coerced. Yeah. You gotta learn how to build that trust with yourself. And then in time, when you slowly start making better decisions, because you're learning how to trust yourself to make better decisions, you can make really big ones, like leaving that horrible boyfriend, or moving out of your family's house, or whoever, the toxic roommate, or anybody that makes you feel worse than you deserve to feel. We already are born with inherited worth because we are life, and that's fucking awesome. And we're intentional, conscious life that can do so many other things. And so many people will talk down on you and try to tell you who you are and tell you what you're worth. You cannot listen to them. You decide for yourself what you're worth. Nobody decides that for you. You decide. You decide what you're worth. You decide what you tolerate. You decide what you're allowed to experience. You decide what you deserve. And I decided that I deserved a lot of bullshit until I decided that I didn't. I decided I deserve better. I deserve a better living space. I deserve peace. I deserve a stress-free atmosphere where I can work to do what I need to do, but I also have the space to be creative. I deserve to pour myself into my creativity and allow myself to be inspired and create beautiful pieces of art. I deserve a loving, caring, and understanding boyfriend who I love so much. I love him so much. He's in the other room. I love him so much. Like, I deserve good things. I deserve to be surrounded by good people. And it's hard to come to that conclusion. It's hard to believe that. It really is. Like, as somebody who had a lot of low self-worth, and I didn't even realize it, but as somebody who had that and thought that I deserved a lot of bad things, it's hard to decide that you deserve better. It's hard to be like, okay, I choose what I deserve. But you can, and you should. Don't let other people decide for you. Like, as a conscious human being, we have so much power. We are powerful, 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 powerful beings. Our words are power. Our actions are power. Holding ourselves accountable is power. Having any sense of discipline, saying yes and saying no, that is power. I had to literally teach myself to trust myself, to say no to things that are not going to benefit me in any way. You get from the universe what you put out. Like, what you give is what you get, literally. So if you're giving bad karma, you're gonna get bad karma. So I decided I made the choice to have good karma. And I had to start by loving myself and learning myself and listening to myself. It's not just being like spa day or posting a self-love quote. Like, no. Really taking the time to do that shadow work, to talk to yourself, to go into those dark corners that you usually use weed or alcohol to escape. Like, go into those dark corners. Figure out why you act the way you act, why you think so low of yourself. And then change the narrative. You gotta get to the root of that shit, man. I had to do a lot of shadow work and just writing out and talking out my trauma and really understanding how it affected me so I could not let it affect me anymore. And that's kind of hard to do without therapy, but it's not impossible. Like, we are very capable, very smart. You are very capable, you're very smart, you're very intelligent. You can do so much more than you realize. The only limit is your thoughts and the excuses you make. There is literally nothing stopping you. Not a damn thing. If you have an idea, if you feel some kind of way, if there's something that you need to express and you need to get it out, you gotta get it out. Otherwise, you're gonna hate yourself forever. And also, choosing not to get it out is choosing to continue to deny your self-worth and to deny yourself what you rightfully, positively deserve. Listen, you experience what you would tolerate. You have more power than you think, okay? So you need to use it. Or suffer and die, I don't know. If you wanna sit here and keep suffering, do whatever you want. It quite literally is your choice if you wanna keep suffering. I also apologize if this comes off as like privileged or self-righteous or whatever. I really don't mean that. Because I'm blessed by the hand of God. That's the only privilege I got. God fucking loves me. That's it. And he's kept me alive through a lot of things that should have killed me. Nobody's gonna save you. There's no Spider-Man, no Superman, no Iron Man, no Batman. It is just us. Now, if you have like a dad or like a brother or somebody who cares about you could save you, then that's awesome. If you're surrounded by people that want to save you, because I'm sure there's people out there that care about you and that want to save you, let them save you. Let them help you. I let him help me. You have options. Even if you can't afford therapy, you have options. Just become self-aware in any way possible. Learn yourself. Read self-help books. They really help. Set boundaries, find peace, and Atomic Habits. And don't believe everything you think. Highly recommend. I'm gonna put all of those links in the thingy. Remember who you are. Stand the fuck up. Because you can, and you should, and you deserve to. Like, let me be the big sis that's gonna hype you the fuck up so you can like beat up your bully. Like, I'm not gonna fight that battle for you because I literally can't. But I know you can. So please love yourself. Fight for yourself. Start with one little step at a time, and it will turn into a giant staircase. But take that first step. Speak up. Say what's on your mind. Do what you actually want to do for once without considering somebody else. Don't be a selfish asshole. But if you are like, oh, I really want to go to the park by myself, but this one friend keeps inviting herself, tell her, hey, listen, I love you and I appreciate you and I love hanging out with you, but I feel the need to spend some time alone right now and I'd rather be at the park by myself. Say that. Set that boundary. I wish I did that with my roommate at the time because we did everything together and it was exhausting. And I could have just been like, hey, I want to be alone for once. Like, I didn't say that. I could have, but I didn't. And maybe if I communicated better, things would be different. Who knows? Whatever. But things are different now because I know how to communicate now, so it's fine. We learn the lessons, we share them, we move on. Okay, well, if you like this video, please like it. If it was helpful in any way, or if there's anybody that you know that you think could use this advice, send it to them. Some of y'all need some tough love. Maybe that's what I'll call this, Blake's tough love. Stand the fuck up. Love yourself. You're not dumb. You're a smart ass, strong ass, powerful ass bitch. Get the fuck up. Thank you for watching. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I hope you do it on purpose because you have a choice. So go have a good day and do it on purpose.